Good-looking people of Reddit, what are some actual disadvantages you face because of your looks? As a woman, I frequently get hit on or approached, and I'm also kinda shy in those situations, so I hate it. I used to avoid Walmart like the plague, 'cause it's always congested and at least one guy would approach me. I was followed at my gym once. At a stoplight 2 weeks ago, a guy was telling me how beautiful I was and asked me if I could give him my number so he could take me out. For the next 3 stoplights, FML, he was trying to communicate and hit on me. So, just annoying more than anything. I hate awkward situations. Until I met my wife, I always had difficulty with women. Mainly back in high school, the girls that did want to go out with me were shallow and just wanted the status of having me as their boyfriend. Those were the really bad relationships that never lasted long. And then there were the girls I actually liked who weren't extremely popular and had trouble believing I had genuine interest in them. I admit that it didn't help that I had had a number of short relationships with the it girls in school, which gave the appearance to some that I was a player, but that wasn't me on the inside. It took moving cities before I finally managed to meet women who didn't have preconceived notions about me and would give me a chance based on merit rather than reputation. Even now, at 36 years of age, we get women who glare at my wife and I as we walk along holding hands, or try to flirt with me in front of her. It is fun to shut them down by telling them about the kind of woman I like, while simultaneously putting my arm around my wife, though. Having quality conversations with ladies then makes them think I'm handsome and interested in more than a conversation. Nope. Just interested in people, generally speaking. No need to make further plans, trade contact info, etc. And if I bring up personal flags that I'm in at least one other relationship, there's no need to assume I'm willing to let you replace someone. If I have one more guy say, all men are gay, they just haven't tried it, I might have to try it to verify. Wait, no, still not interested. Nobody will believe it, but not getting jobs and being sexually harassed at the jobs you do get. Other guys are jealous of you. Women like you but will soon hate you when you don't live up to their extreme and unrealistic expectations. Finding a relationship is practically impossible. It's just flings for me. Creepy, closeted, gay, usually old dudes creeping. People look at you everywhere you go. Women smile, other guys give you dirty looks. It's whatever. Women don't trust you, nor do other men. Lots of bias and favors. It's mostly a curse. People always ask me why I don't become a model, and I tell them that it's far too financially risky to leave my job to actually have a chance at it and making decent money. Many don't understand that being a model doesn't just mean having a pretty face. I am small on top, 32 inches, have a small waist, 25 inches, but big hips, 37 inches. So I am definitely not the preferred size 0 to 2. Plus, I am only 5'5", short for a model. I would also never be willing to take nude or racy photos, which is also something that you simply must accept if you want to make it. I often do photo shoots for photographer friends, work campaigns, and other word-of-mouth things here and there for free, simply because I find it fun, but it's not a realistic career for me, and it bothers me that people think I'm just being pessimistic about it. I know, this is a major first-world problem. When I, female 39, was a young teen, older men would catcall me and try to pick me up. I never looked older for my age. If anything, I've always looked younger. Sexual harassment was rampant through my 20s. I still get hit on by insanely older men. It's disgusting. I can still appreciate being checked out, but by golly, please be someone within 10 years of my age range. When I was 15, I was stalked pretty heavily, and it scared the shit out of me. Had to change the way I got to school every day. My parents paid about $300 extra a month to send me to school on a private school bus versus a city bus. People expect me to be super confident and outgoing, but deep inside, I'm just an introvert that likes anime. Especially with girls. Either hot girls flirt with me and I get super nervous, or I try hitting on cute girls that have the same interests as me, and they think I'm too good for them. Like, bitch, I'm talking to you because I'm most comfortable with you, and I'm just trying to fit in with people with the same interests. Like, I legit went on a date with a cute girl, and when I was dropping her off, she said she couldn't date me because her friends would make fun of her because she's not pretty enough. Like, what the actual fuck? I'm an attorney who represents creditors in debt collection, and prior to that, I was a family law attorney. When I was in family law, I had a specific male client hit on me so excessively that I made a male colleague sit in on meetings with him. Now that I'm in debt collection, I try to avoid one-on-one settlement conferences because I've had consumers hit on me so aggressively while I'm trying to resolve a case. It's hard to be taken seriously when opposing counsel or clients offer to buy you flowers or take you out for dinner or drinks at the end of a case. I legit don't know if I have a good personality or even what my personality is like. I'm male, by the way. In junior year of high school, I basically grew into my looks. I started working out, my jawline became defined, and my cheekbones were suddenly way more prominent. Overall, my face just became more attractive. I've always kind of had an extroverted, awkward personality. Before that year, I wasn't as attractive, and being unattractive and awkward is not a good combination. After I grew into my looks, people began saying that my awkward personality and hotness combined to be very cute. What was awkward became adorable. What was formerly a flaw became a positive, and I don't even know if it's a positive. It's the same thing with humor. I have no idea if I'm actually funny because people generally just laugh at most of my jokes. Ever since then, I simply have no idea. So many years unsure. Strangers think they have the right to touch me. I was abused as a child. People are not welcome to touch me. One guy threatened to kidnap me while attempting to hit on me. I've been followed by 2 guys on my walk home from work. Some people think I'm only good for my looks or fantasy fodder. People think I'm easy. People think I'm willing to cheat on my partner and get aggressive about hitting on me because of that assumption. I have a boss who sees me as competition because I am thought to be more attractive than her. She is not likely to promote me because of this. I don't consider myself particularly good-looking, but sometime after puberty, I blossomed. I went from the ugly duckling no one spoke to if it wasn't to make fun of me, to a confident young woman who receives a lot of male attention and even more compliments from all kinds of people. This is partially due to my style of clothing, and while I don't mind in general, I did have to come to terms with the fact I never really know what people's intentions are when they approach me and we grow closer. For 2 out of my 3 past long-term partners, I was nothing but arm candy, a trophy girlfriend, and a living, breathing sex doll. This is hard to realize sometimes when your own feelings are genuine and the other party is not ashamed to lie to your face in order to get what they desire. It's a painful and emotionally draining experience that has made me very suspicious of anyone showing interest in me, and I often miss the old times, when people who interacted with me did so because they honestly valued me as a person. How attractive I am fluctuates by city. I'm hot in Chicago, Berkeley, Miami, New Orleans, Rome, Paris, and Orange County. It makes no sense. San Diego, nope. London, nope. Rio de Janeiro, nope. So depending on where I am, there is a dramatic difference in how I am treated. I had a guy lose control of his car and come up on the curb, then blame me for it. I thought he drove off and I decided to walk home. Nope, He parked and he and his buddy came and cornered me. A guy offered to go down on me while I was trying to buy donuts. People assume I am both dumb and hypersexual. Once I was at dinner alone and discovered my bill was paid by a drunk rando creeper who now felt entitled to sleep with me. Security has had to intervene to get me safe passage. Yes, he attempted to fondle me and was too successful before security got to him. Toe fondling. Those guys strike, then tell you why and what else they want to do. In public. They assume that because I'm good looking that I owe them their time. People will automatically look at me as the leader and will look to me for all the answers and then resent me for it. Most people feel like I only got to my position because of my looks. It's frustrating not to be taken seriously. Guys will feel threatened by my good looks and will assume I'm trying to steal their girlfriend. This means they constantly one-up me for every small reason. If I make a joke and their girlfriend laughs, they will insult me out of the blue. Having to reject a person is probably harder than being rejected. No one wants to hurt another person emotionally, but people will constantly hit on me, and I have to let them down gently, and they still blow up. It's given me PTSD at times to hear a girl cry because I said no. As an anxiety-ridden introvert, being attractive when I was younger meant I never had to learn how to flirt. Girls would just show up, but rarely the one I really liked. Makes you lazy. As I got older and this started happening less and I was more interested in a real thing, boy howdy, I have no idea what I'm doing. But somehow I still look like I know what I'm doing. That's about it from a straight male perspective, but I've also realized that being a super hot woman can fuck a person up. They're often targets from like age 12. I shudder to put that number lower, but it happens. Really, I think not super hot, not ugly people have it best. Unless you're an extrovert or a sociopath, there's always something uncomfortable about tail ends of distributions. The harassment. I have a perfectly good sidewalk around where I live, but it's impossible for me to jog on and keep my sanity. Because passing cars and trucks will keep honking and scaring the shit out of me. I've tried jogging later in the day when everyone is already home from work, but then random creepers will keep slowing down and yelling out the window to get my attention. I have to drive to an actual track. I wonder if they know or care how they look doing that. I've had friends and even some family members avoid inviting me to events, especially if the event is being attended by someone they have a romantic interest in. This hurts and has been cause for a lot of quiet solo nights. I recently had a close friend of nearly 20 years open up to me about the fact that our friendship fell apart because of their perceived competition they felt existed between us. I had and still have nothing but the utmost respect for this individual and likely always will. But this was a tough pill to swallow, knowing that they didn't want to associate with me due to their own internalized struggle. Being hit on all the time, then the guilt trips and questioning of oneself when it isn't reciprocated. Being judged, people assume you're a complete bitch. People assume you're dumb as fuck. I actually don't mind this one. It creates a fun game. People find you attractive and think you have to date them. If you were to ever look bad, people are shocked, say if you've been ill or something. Worry about the above. If you don't want to date someone and they're not on the same bullshit stereotypical attractiveness level as you, they automatically think you're judgmental and shallow and all that shite. Even if the real reason is they have a criminal record, they're nasty to their kids, they're unemployed by choice, or are generally an annoying cunt. Or even a simple and genuine, not into meeting anyone right now. Nopees, you turned me down 'cause you're up yourself. Once you start losing your looks, weight gain, stress, tiredness, age, people are disappointed in you. as if it's your responsibility to be their ornament. Somewhat like a souped-up car in a crash, if a stereotypically unattractive person falls over or such, people don't find it as funny as if someone attractive does. It's as if we deserve bad karma for being attractive. I only include myself in that category because I have been attractive in the past and experienced all of this. However, I'm only seeing it with hindsight. I'm getting on and losing the things that cause the above things. But I know. At the risk of sounding conceited, people view me as attractive. I'm not a supermodel by any means, but I have a visually pleasing face, purple hair, and I like to wear dresses that complement my figure. The most common problem is women tend to not like me, view me as a threat, or assume I'm dim. This was especially evident when I worked in office environments. I've since changed careers, and I found a whole new side of this. I'm a builder-maker. Mostly I make chessboards with wood, stained glass, and LEDs, and taught myself everything I know. I'm still learning, so when I go to Home Depot, sometimes I need help. 9 times out of 10, they try to ask me out or give me their number. Even if I don't ask for help when I stand in front of the trims and moldings deciding which would best suit my design, they will still find a reason to try to talk to me. Oh, and the moment I take one to the saw table to cut the length I want, some of these are 10+ feet long and are priced per foot, someone will ask if I need help or offer to cut it for me. Don't get me wrong, I'm not accusing anyone of sexism, nor am I offended. How do they know I'm okay handling a saw? I know they are most likely trying to be genuinely helpful, but more often than not, it leads to some form of trying to ask me out. I have some social anxiety issues and end up awkwardly fumbling through a polite, "I'm flattered but not interested" response. Oh, and people are always amazed that I'm not married. I never know what to say when they ask me why. It just never happened to me. Shrugs. I'm still in high school, and some guys get very defensive when I try to talk to them, like they think I'm being fake friendly and I'm going to make fun of them behind their back. My school has a lot of bullies, and it's pretty cliquey, so I automatically get lumped in with the cool kids and bullies. It's especially noticeable in my honors and AP classes, since those students don't really mix with my regular friend group. Also, middle-aged and old men attaching themselves to me in public. I was at the DMV last month, and I was literally swarmed with guys offering to help me find where to go and random advice about cars and insurance. The catcalling. I live in New York City, and some men don't give a fuck. No respect. If I don't want to participate or reply, they threaten me. Women think I try to steal their man by simply walking into a room. I'm not a homewrecker and am extremely loyal. I also get a lot of elevator eyes from chicks. If I ever want to fix my hair in public or something, I seem ditzy. People like to just chuckle and roll their eyes. Jesus. Men think I'm a fake person on dating apps. If I don't like the guy back, they stop being my friend. Working out at the gym is uncomfortable. I'm always getting stopped, being asked a stupid question, or someone tries to have a conversation with me. A college acquaintance of mine was ridiculously good looking. She literally stopped traffic because men wanted to meet her and take a picture with her. It always made me feel inadequate when this happened in front of me. I envied that kind of attention, especially because I've struggled with weight all of my life. One day, I admit to her that I wish I had her looks. I assume how much easier it would be to date if I was as pretty as she was. She responds that her looks are a curse as much as they are a blessing. Yes, she gets attention, but is it really good attention? She says that the same guys who give her attention because of her looks are the same guys who don't want to get to know her. They don't care about her personality. They don't care about her. All that they want is to have sex with her or show her off as a trophy. She admits that she never really knows if someone likes her because of who she is rather than what she looks like. She tells me how she envies that I get men's attention because of my personality and great sense of humor. She reminds me that people always remember me for what I say or do. She's always remembered for how she looks. She says I'd kill for a chance for a guy to want to get to know me first. The way women and men treat me. Men like I'm clueless and unintelligent, not all men, or they'll stop and ask me if I'm my nationality because I inherited a lot of exotic features, which generally makes me cringe, only because I don't like to be approached by random men who claim to know facts about me because of my appearance. Women like I'm competition and want their man. Happily married, I don't want your guy. They'll even sometimes tell me they thought we could be friends, but they've changed their mind because of how I look, or that I'm too perfect, which really pisses me off. Constant comparison. No one is perfect, and I don't believe a layer of lip gloss and mascara classifies anyone as perfect. It's hard to make friends with women who dislike you based on looks. A lot of uncomfortable comments and looks by your friends' dads, boyfriends, and husbands. Even my own stepdad sometimes used to stare and make jokes about my good looks. Then everyone's wives get mad and assume you're luring their husbands or partners on purpose. I had a girl yell at me at a bar one time because her boyfriend was looking in my direction. She was a friend of a friend, and to this day thinks I was trying to steal him away from her. Side note, he is not at all my type, and I almost laughed at this accusation when she was yelling at me. I didn't, though, and tried to reassure her politely. TLDR, everyone is mad at you for being good-looking enough to have their partners stare. I get treated like my self-esteem issues don't count because of my appearance. I had terrible self-esteem throughout the majority of my teens, which I've worked really hard to try and overcome. But I still feel uncomfortable even posting in this thread because of them. Thanks to a mixture of genetics and how I've been exercising regularly since I was like 8 years old, now 22, I'm both curvy and visibly fit, aside from cardio, but I'm working on that. And as I've gotten older, I've become more aware of the effect I can have on people. But when I try to express my insecurities, I basically always get some sort of response along the lines of how I'm so pretty and so many people would kill to look how I do and I have the perfect body. Funnily enough, it never makes me feel better. Edited to add, thought of another one. People I'm friends with will just tell me they had a crush on me or want to sleep with me fairly regularly, then just leave me with that information to deal with. I'm bi, so I also get a double dose of it, and to be honest, it is kind of affecting how I act around friends, because I'm always a little on edge and hyper-aware that they may only be friends with me because they want to hook up with me. I have had people straight up just stop talking to me as soon as they got into relationships, and it's always so hurtful when that happens because it seriously just feels like they were my friend because they wanted to fuck me, and as soon as that stopped being an option, I was dropped. I'm not amazing looking, but I, female, have a certain quality about me. Not bad looking, cute, a bit of a goofy personality and physically quite clumsy, and oh so approachable and non-threatening. Think Anne Hathaway playing a character in a film in the noughties. I get a lot of unsolicited advice from men and find it hard to do anything in public without some arrogant bastard sliding up and forcing a shitty laugh and explaining the correct way to do it. In my old job, a guy even tried to show me how to mop a floor, and I'm surprised there wasn't smoke coming from my ears. Honestly, I don't think it has many downsides. I don't feel I'm judged as stupid or incompetent because I present myself as intelligent and competent. I get hit on, and I decline gracefully if need be. The one downside for me has been that I have an invisible chronic illness. I've been days out of the hospital and told, "You look great." I don't always feel comfortable expressing my needs at work because I know I don't appear sick. On a less serious note, this drove me crazy in sports practice as well. Keep pushing, you don't even look tired. Well, I fucking am.